You may have ventured into Facebook advertising a little bit. There's a lot of content in there to figure out how it works and everything. One of the most important pieces to using Facebook advertising is targeting. You want to target your specific audience because you don't want to be wasting ad dollars on reaching people that don't even fit your business. They're not a good customer. They're just not a good match. So before you even create a new campaign or do any of this, you can create an audience. That's what Facebook calls targeting. You can also do it while you're creating an ad, but I like to create it first to make sure you really give it some thought and figure out all the different pieces. And then when you create your campaign, you can select the audience you want. So to access the audiences menu, click the ads manager menu up here, and you may not have it on the frequently used here, so you may have to go to all tools. Mine already popped up. But under assets, you can see audiences right here. So you can see I already have an audience set up. You can name it and create a type for it. I typically stick with saved audience because then I can really get into deep targeting of who I want to reach. And it shows me the size of the audience too. So to create a new audience, you just go up to create audience here, and you can create 3 different types of audience. You can create a custom audience. So like if you have an email list from maybe subscribers to your email list, you can actually import that. You can have a CSV file and import it. Or you can put what Facebook calls the Facebook pixel on your website, and that'll actually track people visiting your website and show the ads to those people as they are visiting your website. If you have a really busy website or you have a really big email list, this could be a good way to go because you can target people that have shown interest in your product or service, so they're a likely candidate to become a customer. You can also track app activity, and then also people who have engaged with your content on Facebook, so you can reach people that show interest. Generally, that's good if you have a really high traffic website. Most small businesses won't have enough traffic to really make that a good option. But Facebook offers lots of different options. So you can create a lookalike audience. So you can choose a source. You can choose the page that you want. If people have liked a page, you can choose followers of that page. So if you've already invested some money in getting likes on your page through advertising, now you can target them with your content. So you can target any country or create a lookalike audience based off of that country or a region. So it can get as granular as you can target people that look like the European Economic Area or App Store regions for people that use iTunes App Store. Emerging markets. There's all kinds of different specifications here. So we'll target the European Economic Area. And you can choose the percent of customers that you want to use from that. So you can see 2.6 million is 1%. And you can go up to 10%. So then you can create a lookalike audience. Again, this can be useful for certain things, but it's generally a little bit on the broad side. So the option that I like the best is saved audiences, and that really lets you target specifically. So I can name the audience, and then I can create a custom audience. So you can use things like email addresses, specifics to really target specific people. But generally I like to do in a location. So you can target, say you're a local shop, you're only going to want to target your, a certain city or even a certain zip code. So I can type in the city that I'm in and see I want to include Roseville, California, and 25 miles outward. So you can select, a radius of who you want to target. And then an age range, so maybe small businesses. So an age range for small business owners, generally I'm going to target up to 45 or 50. And then you can choose gender. You can choose the language that they speak even. You can do a lot of targeting there. And then this is where the best targeting features are, the detailed targeting. You can get down to demographics, so you can choose what their education level is. So you might want people that are just a college graduate. So this part will update how many people your potential reaches and exactly what you're targeting. Back up here, this isn't important on the locations. I forgot to mention this. You really want to be careful and select not just everyone in this location. You probably want to select, for my audience, I want to select people who live in this location. If you're a restaurant or something like that, relying on tourists that are in the area or people traveling, then by all means, you're going to select everyone in this location because you want to be relevant to them, when they're in your location. You don't necessarily care about people that just live there. And you can even do people recently in this location. So if they drove through somewhere and you want to target them, you can do that. Or people traveling in this location. So you could, if you're a restaurant that wants to rely on people traveling only, you can do this and it'll only target people whose home is, a good distance away, but they're traveling in your city. So you can really get granular. So I'm going to reduce that to people who live in this location. See my potential reach dramatically reduced. So everyone in this location, 220,000 people, and then people who live in it, it would only target 31,000 within that age range. And then I can do people recently in this location. Again, 200. You can see that update in real time. There's only 7,100 people traveling in this location. But you can do a lot of granular targeting there. So I want college graduates, and you can add things like, I want to go to browse over here, and you can do interests. So if they're interested in business and industry, if they're interested in business, great. But so if I'm targeting maybe a web design part of my business, I might want to exclude people that already have an interest or are web designers themselves. So I might want to exclude people that are web designers themselves. So it gives you the option to exclude people. So I'm going to select that and click here. So I can type web design and then see I can select interests or job titles. People that have that job title of web design, I don't want to include that. People who have the interests of web design, I probably don't want that either. Pretty much anything web design, if they're employers, field of study, I don't want to include any of those. There's a lot of different aspects that I would go through and exclude. And, it narrows my audience. I'm down to 50,000 people. So I can really target a specific group. And, if I wanted to expand my audience out a little bit, or I can, type additional cities. So I can expand it to the United States again, then, 69 million people. So it depends if you want to target people in a broad region of the country or your specific city. You can really get granular on who you want to target, who you want to reach. So once you create that audience, I just created small business. I created it. If I'm in audiences and click on the link, I can go to the edit button here and bring the same screen up. So I'm going to go ahead and target my city again and update that. And then I go back to audiences. So my audience size is down to 50,000 people. So when I go to create an ad, if I want to create a brand awareness ad, I'm just going to create a generic one right now. Custom audience, well, I already have a saved audience. So see, it lets you get into that audience targeting again. So when you're setting up an ad, you already have a lot on your mind. So you don't want to have to worry about targeting also. So having a saved audience is great because it fills that all in for you. And you can use that in any number of ads. You can reuse that same audience and modify the targeting to fit what your needs are for a specific ad. So you can create different audiences for each ad. That's extremely helpful when you're trying to reach people. When you're trying to reach a specific group. And it'll give you, audience size if you're too specific or too broad. My audience is well defined. So, it's right there in the green zone, which is good. You don't want to target too many people, but you also don't want to target too few people. So hopefully this video was helpful for you in setting up audiences or, targeting your customers. You should definitely not be doing a Facebook ad without targeting the right people. If you are, then you're potentially wasting a lot of money and a lot of your time. So hopefully you found this video valuable. Of course, be sure to subscribe. I'll be coming out with a new video every week, hopefully on a topic that helps your small business thrive. So thanks for watching. Now that you've checked out an Exprance video to help you expand your small business online presence, be sure to subscribe so you can watch more videos as they come out. Or you can check out the ebook that will help you grow your email list without even having a website in case you don't have one. Or you could check out another video.